Recording in progress.
Good morning, Chair, honorable members, and everyone present. Chair, the time is 10 o'clock now. You may start the meeting. Thank you.
Good morning, honorable members. Good morning, Sistando and the support staff. I'm just waiting for you to indicate when we are about to start. Thank you.
Good morning, Chairperson.
Good morning, Chair. Am I audible, honorable members?
Yes, you are audible.
Oh, thank you. Good morning, Chair. The time is 10:02 now, so you may start the meeting. Thank you.
No, thank you very much. Let me once again extend my greeting to all of the honorable members who are present, minister and deputy ministers in our midst. Most importantly, that I cannot forget the support staff and administration that is always making sure that we are always on par in terms of the information and the work that is expected from us. Without further ado, as we are coming from our strat plan, I think it's a Bible and our roadmap from now as to how we're going to move forward as the committee. How are we going to ensure that 7th administration's program of plan becomes an action, and also the 6th administration work does not just a question of formality, but we improve in terms of where they left, and also ensure that we follow up, because there is this thing of a question of oversights that are being done as if it's the question of ticking the dots. I think 7th administration must take itself upon itself that we become serious on accountability. We follow what we've left behind. For instance, I'll be pleased if we can get now full and detailed report in terms of our oversight that we've done in Gauteng. We left a school there that all of us agree as honorable members that this is a ticking time bomb. Anything can happen in that school, and once the disaster strikes there, everyone will be shocked as if we never knew what was the situation there. So I will be pleading with honorable members and just to make sure that we follow, especially dangers to our kids, because the school shown not conducive for what was meant for to be a special school for those who are challenged, physically challenged and otherwise. So it was supposed to be top-class school to respond to those challenges. When we arrived there, it was something different. So I'm highlighting this as part of our work that at least we've managed to do. So we can't just let it, say no, this thing is known, is on the books, then it must be left there. So in those few words, I'm trying to welcome everyone on the meeting and opening the meeting. We will work around the question of our strat plan. I think all of us will received the report as was highlighted. I know then we'll be able to and then we enable us to interact with it. Yes. Mrs. Kaka, can you check can we allow now the second item, which is the adoption of the agenda as it has been sent to us as members? Thank you.
Chairperson.
Honorable Nkwele.
No, thanks very much, Chairperson. And greeting to honorable members and the officials and all protocol observed, as we have already established the protocol. Chair, without much ado, I rise that we adopt the agenda as presented before us. I thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much, Honorable Nkwele. Any seconders?
Chairperson, apparently you can't see my hand. Good morning. I move to adopt the agenda. Move to second the agenda. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Adrianse. I'm sorry. I don't know also. I'm trying to check, but what is but it's not a problem. We will try to accommodate each other. And then now the following items, Ms. Kaka is it's an apologies.
Greetings again, Chair. Greetings, honorable members and everyone present. Chair, I've got one apology from Honorable Briet. She's on her way from abroad and she will join the meeting if she arrives early. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much, Ms. Kaka. I think in terms of our agenda, we can, in terms of our quorum, we can proceed as such. Then we will allow the presentation. I don't know whether the minister is here or who is leading the presentation.
Good morning, Chairperson. It's Solomon Tombeni speaking, and I will be leading the committee meeting this morning in terms of the presentation. This is an internal meeting, so we will just be adopting the report from the strategic session from last week. And we've also emailed the draft APP for members to go through, that members still have time to give input on that APP and as to whether it speaks to the resolutions of the strategic session. Nolthando, can you please allow me to share screen?
Yes, you can.
Thank you. Okay, it's not allowing me on my side.
Or else will you assist on your own side, Ms. Kaka, if Mr. Mtombe, good morning, Mr. Mtombe. If it's
Good morning,
on his side, yes.
I'll just open it now.
Or you can try again, Dr. Mtombe.
Okay, there we go. Yes, it's open. Okay, good morning again, honorable members and our colleagues and chairperson. Welcome back. So yeah, this is basically a draft report. It's not a very long report, so I will just quickly browse through it. So mainly, as honorable members remember, last week started off in the NCOP chambers, where members were taken through NCOP's oversight model for the 2025 to 2024 to 2029. And the presiding officers gave their speeches regarding this model that the committees would adopt going forward in terms of their oversight work. So that is what I've included in the introduction. And then I also do indicate that the main deliberations were discussed by the committee during their breakaway sessions over the 2 days of the strat plan session. And then the most important part that I'm going to discuss now are the key areas for oversight as indicated by members during the breakaway sessions. So I've listed most of them here. Honorable members, still feel free to let me know if I may have not included something that you have mentioned. So I tried my level best to try and consolidate most of the deliberations. So one of the areas that was spoken about was support for women in sport in federations, support for women's sports in federations, as women still receive less funding. That is an area to look at that we need to engage the executive on. And then regular follow-ups with departments with regards to oversight visits by the committee. Chairperson just mentioned that in his opening remarks, and this is a very important point that I will actually highlight again later on. And I must also guarantee, Chairperson, that the current program that is in place for second term, we have included Gauteng to come and report back on that oversight visit, especially on the recommendations that were provided by the committee. And then prioritization into oversight over bullying and cyberbullying in schools, public-private partnerships in the sector projects, implementation of women in sport policy. Okay, I might need to cancel this part. Okay, oversight and possible legislation over boards and council appointments in entities, including recycling of board and council members with poor performance track record, incompetence, as well as board members serving in multiple entities of the same department without justification. Lack of ECD implementation for learners living with disabilities and training of practitioners to deal with such learners. Formalization of the ECD centers in the basic education as they still operate as NPOs. So they need to be absorbed into the sector in a formalized manner. That is something to look at. School infrastructure and support for learners living with disability, including autism, rape culture and teenage pregnancy in schools, general school safety and vetting of security personnel, as well as non-academic staff within schools, management of sport infrastructure by local government, feasibility of Department of Sports, Arts and Culture in taking over sport infrastructure projects from municipalities due to lack of capacity within local government. Commercialization and of locally produced technologies and innovation by the Department of Science, Technology and Innovation in order to address societal challenges. Support grants and mechanism provided to artists and creatives, employment equity and internalization policy within higher education. This one was also presented by Chairperson in absentia, but he did indicate that we look into this matter, especially given the recent hype over appointment of foreign academia within the higher education space. So that is something definitely to look at, especially the internationalization policy, apologies for that, within the higher education sector, and as to whether the current Department of Higher Education and the universities are speaking to that policy. And then monitoring of NFSA's administration and student accommodation challenges, funding of TVET colleges and CET colleges, oversight and reporting on conditional grant allocated to provinces and municipalities by national government, ensuring that the department and the entities address all recommendations following the findings by the Auditor General. So that is on the oversight areas that the committee would need to look at over this financial year. And then in terms of the procedures of the committee, oversight procedures of the committee, the important areas, the committee called for an increase in the number of oversight visits to provinces to allow for effective oversight and visibility on the ground, as well as the provision for unannounced visits to enable them to observe the living reality of citizens. The committee requested that when the department presents to the committee, the process should be so that the department should answer the question immediately after being asked. rather than waiting for all the members to ask questions before responding. Members highlighted that there are times that the department fails to answer questions when asked. And then the committee called for a review of its allocated budget and advocated for more budget to conduct more oversight visits. The committee is to consider individual members conducting oversight in their respective provinces and reporting back to the committee from time to time. There was a suggestion for joint meetings and oversight with committees that may have similar interests. The three spheres of government must speak to each other to avoid duplication of oversight visits where the committee visits a site that was previously visited by another committee for a similar purpose. And then also the recommendations of the provincial week must be followed up on. And then with regards to the study tour, these are some of the countries that the members of the committee came up with. As you can see in front of you, it's Brazil, China, Switzerland, Comoros Island, Jamaica, Taiwan, Singapore, Finland, Thailand, and Argentina. Members will correct me if I may have missed a country that they suggested. And then the chosen country must be selected based on the following, as recommended by members as well. The strength of its education model, as well as science, technology, and innovation, low prevalence of gender-based violence, must have similar history to that of South Africa, potentially be part of BRICS. It's not, it was not compulsory, but potentially it was a suggestion. And then the committee support staff, ourselves with the researcher and everyone else responsible for logistics. We will conduct research on the chosen countries and the strength of these countries based on the requirements as stipulated by the committee and recommended by the most suitable. And we will also look at the logistical arrangements with regards to visiting a certain countries, because certain countries have different logistical arrangements. I can give a short example. I think the last parliament, the committee had challenges with visiting South Korea earlier because South Korea was going to their national elections. So the committee had to wait until the elections were completed and the new members in South Korea were sworn in before the committee could actually do the oversight. So those are things that we would need to look at. When do these countries also hold elections? When do these countries are able to accommodate members and they do not have their own political arrangements on their side? So those are things we'll be looking at, and we will definitely give feedback, a thorough feedback to the committee before the end of September 2025. But it could be much sooner than that, but we will work as efficient as possible to give you the feedback. And then it was also proposed that the study tour must not take place at a peak of the election period for local government. So we will also take that into consideration. And then with regards to the annual performance plan, the draft annual performance plan for 2025-2026 financial year, in line with the oversight priorities of the committee, would be, we discussed during the strategic planning session that it would be made available to the committee within 7 days following the session, of which the draft was shared with members yesterday. And like I said, with the APP, the members still have time to go through the APP, see to it that it speaks to what we spoke about during the strategic planning session. Members can still give input so that we will be able to amend the APP if required to do so. So I would appeal to members maybe over the next 7 days to have a look at the draft APP and maybe give us feedback. And when members are happy with the APP, we will pretty much adopt the APP. And then with regards to this report, I think it is open for consideration by members. And then, yeah, so yeah, thank you. Thank you very much, Chairperson.
Thank you, Mr. Mtombe. Are there any additionals or something that, before I can allow honorable members to engage with the draft report before we adopt it? Or must I proceed? Give honorable members opportunity to engage. Honorable Mtombe, are you fine? Honorable
Yes,
Letitia.
I'm happy on my side.
Okay. Honorable Letitia, I can see your hand is noted. Honorable Du Plessis, the second one. Honorable Finis, Honorable Chirwa. Yes. In that order, Honorable Ariswa.
Yeah, good morning, Chairperson, and thank you for the report. Chairperson, the EFF has raised the issue of hunger, and I don't see that it finds expression there here in this report, and that's why we have proposed Brazil, specifically because we have a challenge in the country with more than 14 million people every day don't have access to food. And in Brazil, they have, this concept of community restaurants. And I don't see that it finds expression in this report. So I would like to propose that that be added in order for us to get that program right.
Chairperson, are you still there?
Sorry. Oh, okay. I muted myself. Sorry. No. I was just saying that in terms of what Honorable Letitia is raising, I think there is an oversight on her side because I saw that Brazil, I think, is on the top in terms of what she's raising. I wanted her also to raise okay. Yeah, and also I wanted us to be consistent of being members, understanding of our different backgrounds. I think it's going to assist us because we might find ourselves, having a divided house if we are going to be sticking. I'm not saying people must forget what they are. Thank you very much, Honorable Du Plessis.
Thank you very much, Chair. I'd just like to add that we do not forget our emphasis on oversight for infrastructure, especially it's also mentioned by you about the schools that we have already done oversight on, that we do need to continue monitoring that. But I think we do need to have a look in general again, and also have a specific focus on overseeing infrastructure at schools, because it influences quite a lot within a school, from creating an environment of bullying all the way through to sorry, there are a few other issues that come from that. And then also, I'd like to suggest that we do, especially within the cluster, ensure that we engage on social workers at school, either for a region or something like that, because, to address the bullying. Thank you very much, Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Du Plessis. Honorable Finis.
Thank you, Honorable Chairperson. Greetings to you, Honorable Chairperson, the honorable members, as well as the support staff. Honorable Chairperson, in terms of the second bullet, with the key priority areas for oversight, It indicated regular follow-ups with the departments. It must not be only the provincial departments. We must also have this follow-ups with the national departments after our oversight visits. And then in terms of the funding for TVET and CET colleges, we must also indicate that adequate funding for these institutions. Thank you very much, Honorable Chairperson.
Chairperson, must I proceed?
No, it's Honorable Mukwele, and then it's you after Honor. Ne?
All right.
No, thanks very much, Chair, and greetings to you, honorable members. Chair, mine is only two. Number one, Chair, even though you have emphasized to say in our threat plan, we also emphasize the issue of follow-upping, even though you have mentioned it, Chair, to say that when we do the provincial weeks, we found that there are issue of infrastructure defects in our provinces, in particular on the issue of education. But also during our oversight, even though you have already said it, to say that we need to come up with a formal, what we call monitoring mechanism to say what we have observed, indeed, are they doing? Because as you were right to say, it's not going to be on that as the select committee will continue with the status quo, whereby we'll go to the province. We found that things are not very, very extremely shocking things like you indicated, which one we found at Noktula in Gauteng, which all of us we don't forget. We need to make follow-up, and then I should think that maybe your good self through the office, you need to assist us so that we can make follow-up on oversight we have been doing, because we have been spending money to do that. But lastly, on the issue of study tour, Chair, I agree with you that with the names that we have made proposal to say that our wish is that maybe through you, Chair, the department need to arrange the study tour this year, as we all know that next year we'll be focusing on the issue of local government throughout the country, which I should think that the sooner they start with the preparation, the better, so that at least if, let's say, before the end of this year, we can undergo one study tour, because as the country chair, we must as we are running the country, we need to compare us with other countries as what is happening at other, meaning that we must benchmark with country, not with ourselves, so that we can change the situation of our education system in our country. So the sooner we go there, the better, so that while we are still at the beginning of the term of our office, not yet, we are almost not even finished up. We are just finished up the year, not very long, so that we know where we are taking this country to. Those are the 2 points that I wanted to bring to the fore, Chair. And thanks very much for giving me the opportunity. Thank you.
Honorable Chira.
Thank you. Greetings, Hlalo, to yourself and our colleagues and staff members. Kamuchirwa Mpongose from the EFF. Just to start with the other comments, malnutrition is Hlalo. Brazil, it also was a standing comment on the fact that a department kwi-APP yabo kumele bakhulume ngendaba ye-malnutrition ey'koleni, especially in early childhood development. Just want to clarify there. And then second, enye nalena comment engiyibona lana kulama chats wethu ethi ekhuluma from Honorable Aries ekhuluma ngama-asbestos and mud schools, nayo ngiyayibona ayivelanga ku-report yethu. Please can we just add that. And Chair, just to cement the sentiment on the oversight week last year and all of that, and all of these sentiments that are being shared by other members, absolutely agree. And I think maybe as a standing, that the department must always present to us is a report on the status of schools, but starting with these ones, but also continuously update on this item of infrastructure decay, whether it's abandoned buildings, whether it's neglected buildings, or the theme of last year. I think it was very important, and we can have it as a standing item on the issue the department reports to our committee. And yes, I think that is all from me. Sihlalo, ngiyabonga.
Thank you, honorable members. I think there are two issues that I think we need to, that honorable members are raising, is the question of standing item of our both the provincial and oversight up until the question of infrastructure, especially in schools, and other departments that can be later addressed, and also the question of a study tour that I think as honorable members we must agree, so that when we are concluding here, we do not leave something that is hanging and then is being blamed to the department, to the chairperson and then an administration. At least we must be specific in terms of when and which country that we believe we are agreeing onto, so that we are not divided on this particular question. We are speaking with one voice. So I want us just to deal with that in terms of the report. I think other issues, it's something that we are agreeing onto. So I want us just to concentrate on those two, because if we are not doing that, we are leaving a serious loophole of not even attempting to come closer to. So I think in terms of the draft, I think we agree with what was on the draft. So, Honorable Mukwele, your hand, I don't know whether it's a legal hand, because it has been raised. You didn't withdraw it, but I will allow Honorable Chira and Honorable Sebande to engage. Thank you. Specifically on these issues that I've raised.
All right,
Yes.
ngiyabonga Sihlalo. I think into eraser is important. Mangi Bega, because I did go through these countries and their offerings. And I did also recommend the Comoros Island, and I wanted to retract that because I wanted to put my weight behind Finland, particularly for the reason of their special needs education system, and the other issues other members raised in relation to Finland as well. I think it would be beneficial for the portfolio committee to go on a study tour in Finland. It would cover many aspects of our interests, as displayed in last week's discussion with members. Thank you.
Chairperson, give direction. Chairperson, I'm audible.
Yes, Honorable Subanda, you are audible. Sorry about that. I didn't unmute myself. You can proceed.
Chairperson, I think, first of all, I wanted to follow my colleagues to welcome the report as it is, which cover all the things which we have raised. But there is somewhere where I foresee a mistake, which we are doing now. You see, Chairperson, my little understanding was that we identify countries and give it to the department so that they can go and do their thoroughly research in terms of what we wanted. Unlike now to be specific to say we want this country. These countries which is there, which is on this table, are the countries which we have selected ourselves, not by the department. And I'll put an example. I don't want to go deeper to some of the things. There are things which we don't talk about them, like the issue of Brazil. Some people, they are not aware that what is happening in Brazil. In Brazil, there are positives and negatives as well, which are very serious, the negatives. Like some people, they are not aware that if you are going to Brazil, yes, as we are here from South Africa, you ought to talk to the whatever from the DERCO get an information in their government there, from their government. They must go and, I don't want some of the things to be captured under my name. Because there are people who, like is Bonda, who doesn't allow people to just come in their country. I don't want to go too deeper to that one. So I thought that we must agree that this, like honorable from EFF, not to Shiro, the first honorable member, who raised some of these things, that you must add 1, 2, 3, add 1, 2, 3. That's what I support. But to open the issue of this discussion of the countries where we're supposed to go, I think, to me, it is irrelevant at this moment, because we never even gave the department an opportunity to tell us about their findings about what we suggested. They've captured exactly what we raised, but we never gave them an opportunity to come back and tell us that, listen, in this country, the disadvantage is this and this. In this country, the advantage is this and this. And now we start again to discuss it. I think we have opened it wrongly. Let's leave it to the department to go and do their thoroughly job and come back and tell us that this is the correct one. And support that proposal by Honorable Member Mukwele. That's what we said exactly. That if we wanted to do something, let's do something this year. But because next year, because of the local government elections, we can't do anything. So that is my worry. Because now we are opening it again so that we can start and add some countries, which is very wrong. Thank you very much, Chairperson.
Thank you very much. Honorable Aris.
Yes, thank you very much, Chairperson. Chairperson, the previous speaker, I know that the department did send us a report where they spell out which countries are offering what to us. So it's a clear indication that the member didn't read. Thank you, Chair.
Honorable members, I think we've exhausted the report in front of us, agreeing with everything that is on the report with amendments, because I want to highlight it that where you identify some gap, there are amendments that you've made, so that tomorrow we do not come back and say, no, we do not know this report. I want us now to consider the report, to adopt the report, honorable members, with amendments as we have highlighted them. Can we move for that, honorable members? Honorable Mukwele and Honorable du Plessis.
No, thanks very much, Chair. After the deliberation and with amendments, I move that we adopt the report. But also, Chair, to say, like, if I had, when they were presenting, to say that if we still need anything that we want to add, I wanted also to clarify us that once we adopt, are we fine, or we still need to bring something, if any? But for now, Chair, I rise to adopt the report as presented together with amendment. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Mukwele. Honorable du Plessis.
Thank you, Chair. I'd like to adopt with the amendments, but I'd also like to just re-emphasize the fact that the researchers have sent us a document with all the potential countries that will assist the entire social cluster. And I do agree with the fact that we need to travel as soon as possible so that the local government elections are not interrupted, or our personal campaigns and local government elections are not interrupted by international travel. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Honorable du Plessis, with emphasis on the amendments that have been highlighted. Can you go to another item?
Sorry, Chair, I may just say something a bit.
Oh, sorry, Honorable. Apologies for that.
No, thank you, Chair. Chair, just one thing I'd like to bring to the attention of honorable members, especially with regards to what you spoke about in your opening. I just want to give a short example. I will not take more than 3 minutes of your time. I just want to show you the feedback that we got from DSEC as per the meeting we had with them a few weeks ago, just to show you how an example of how the department escapes accountability. So, for example, honorable members right now spoke a lot about infrastructure projects. What is the most frustrating thing about this infrastructure project is that our sector departments do not want to take accountability for infrastructure failures within their departments. For example, honorable members did receive this yesterday as part of the attachments from Nolutando. So you will see that honorable members asked the departments to give feedback in writing after the meeting that was held or when they presented their APP and strat plan. And then, so these were the questions that they were supposed to respond to. For example, with the Sarah Bartman, the committee indicated that the project went 100 million over budget, and it's now 13 years later and the project is still not completed. And also, the members asked who is responsible for the failure and any actions that were taken to date. And the department gave this response, which is a very generic response. And it's not, you'll see that they indicate that the contractor terminated, I highlighted in green here, the contractor terminated the contract citing reasons for non-payment of invoices under the supervision of the Development Bank of South Africa. So this doesn't make sense given that the project is already 100 million over budget, but yet the answer they give us is that the contractor terminated due to non-payment. The answer does not speak to the question. And secondly, they indicate that there's no known actions that were taken against DBSA, except that Department of Public Works is no longer willing to continue to complete the project under DBSA. That is another big issue. Now, the question is who will be held to account at the end of the day? Because it seems as if the department can't hold anyone account for this failure. At the same time, Department of Public Works cannot hold DBSA accountable for the failure. So this is how the culprits that are responsible for infrastructure failure get away with it. Is because at the end of the day, nobody holds them accountable and the departments keep on shifting blame. So that is just one of the examples that I can highlight. And then just in short, another one is here. They indicate the committee asked, what amount has been set? Remember, the minister made a commitment that he wants to send 350 athletes to the Olympics. Usually, the department sends just over 100, or the country sends just over 100. Now, the increase is threefold. The minister made a commitment of sending 3 times the amount, which is 350. Now, the committee did ask, has there been any money being set aside for that? And in addition, to support athletes going to the 2028 Olympic Games. And what the department gives us here in response, they give us policy-related answers. They don't answer the questions directly. And this is how they get away with murder. You will see here, as highlighted in green as well, and I've also indicated in the comments here, they indicate that funding will come through the SASCOC, Operations Excellence Program. Now, this Operation Excellence Program is funded by the private sector. It's currently funded by Bidvest, which is having a 3-year contract with SASCOC to fund the program. The department does not fund this program. And my question is, why would you make a commitment over something that is not funded by you, but rather by the private sector? So it's a bit of a catch-22 there. And then in addition, they are shifting accountability to SASCOC. They give SASCOC 11 million per year. And because now they want to increase the number of Olympians, they were supposed to actually increase the budget they give to SASCOC, of which they are not doing, when according to the recent budget that they have. And then also, they give very vague explanations. You will see here, they're not responding to the question, but on their number 3, they say, through the voted funds of the Department of Sport, Arts and Culture. That's a very vague explanation. They're not indicating under which program will this be funded. And then also here with regards to SAFA, the committee asked, why did the department give SAFA 5 million lifeline and not deal with governance issues within SAFA? Because the minister has the powers to actually bring SAFA under administration, as it has been done previously with other federations. And here they indicate that the minister met with all the federations to discuss governance matters, among other matters. They don't even tell us what the resolutions were taken at that meeting and whether the issue of SAFA was discussed, because the question is with regards to SAFA, not all the federations. So those are just a few examples, honorable members. I can go on and show you how the department gets away with not answering parliamentary questions, and they are undermining the committee by giving us these answers that are not satisfactory. Here they give us, as you can see, I've also indicated they don't give timelines, give very vague explanations, and the explanations, there's no explanation on how the challenges will be addressed. But instead, they will just type things for the sake of responding to the committee. And it speaks specifically to what the chairperson indicated when he opened the meeting as well. You know, Honorable Mokwela asked about the collapse of Mopani Stadium, and the answer they give here is they only provide a professional oversight role and are not responsible for the day-to-day activities of the MIG projects. You see, they're escaping accountability again, because they're supposed to be working with the municipality to ensure that these projects are done, but yet they tell us that they don't deal with day-to-day projects. And also, they indicate that municipalities, they can only assist municipalities to improve on their implementation. However, they cannot entirely address the issue of poor capacity and inability of municipalities to deliver on their mandate. This is a national department responding to the committee. And this is really uncalled for. And I think honorable members should maybe rather take this up with the department, especially with regards to how they respond to the committee and also how they hold their own counterparts accountable for the project. So it's a lot of things. I will just also forward this to members with the comments that I've noted, so that honorable members can also see where the challenges are with regards to the department not really doing their work. Honorable du Plessis asked about the 55 million in irregular expenditure. Here they explain their policy. They don't explain what happened to the culprits who contributed to that 55 million rand in irregular expenditure. They just tell us their policy of they ensuring that they will strengthen their internal controls and supply chain processes. So they don't tell honorable members what did we do with the culprits? Did we recover the monies that were found to be used unlawfully? So yeah, honorable members, that's all I can say from my side on this. And definitely maybe it's something to engage on, especially given that this is still the beginning of the 7th administration. But such responses are really uncalled for, and they should be addressed as soon as possible, so that at least at the end of the 5 years, the honorable members will be able to see positive results and will have held this department accountable. Thank you very much, honorable members.
Thank you very much, Honorable Mtombeni, for your summing up. I think I've highlighted, you are correct when I've said that, look, we are not going to leave anything unattended just to tick the boxes. I think we need to subpoena the Minister of Sport because we've tried to make this arrangement. Unfortunately, it was a deputy minister that attended, making all the apologies on all the frustration. In fact, all the frustration that we've raised, the department still does not take us serious because all of these things that we have raised are the issues that we thought we will deal with before that meeting that we had. Unfortunately, we didn't get any responses. Even the commitment by the minister that no, it is going to take up all of the matters. It's worse now. We are not getting that response. I think let us because we even said that we want to go where all the taxpayers' money was just, thrown, on the street with no accountability. 100 million is not a cent. We can't be, told about the dynamics of the different departments. Sport and recreation must take responsibility of the crumbling because the infrastructure is crumbling. I've even made an example that the minister he must not be allowed, because if we are going to allow the situation of a minister that is taking money out of his own pocket because he is rich, wherever there is a crisis, he is going to, extinguish that crisis with that money. We are going to have a problem of having politicians that are going to be expected to take money out of their own pocket to buy the failures of the departments. So it's a very, very serious problem. We must have an urgent. It must be urgent so that if it does not come this time around, we are not going to accept any excuses. The minister must not send the deputy. We saw what happened when the deputy was here. The deputy cannot take responsibility of everything because the minister was not there. We want the minister and also the head of the administration to all of these things so that they can take accountability for all of these things, even these responses that are scanty, because these are very scanty responses. We saw what happened in the portfolio committee. The CEO of exactly these bodies cannot give responsibility, accountability. CFO, the CEO, they can't. The money is just thrown on the bin, on the dustbin, whilst the infrastructure has crumbled across the country. It's the same thing. So our oversight role must not be undermined. We must not allow that to happen, honorable members. We will give a feedback. We will immediately after this meeting, we must make a subpoena, in fact, report this thing to the necessary structures of our parliament, so that it's known that there is a serious behavior that we are not going to accept. Coupled with that, it must be a subpoena to our select committee. I saw that there is a hand of Honorable Adrianse. Let me allow you, Honorable Adrianse, just to have a bite on the. Yes, thanks.
Thank you, Honourable Chairperson. I can't agree with you more, and I welcome this report by Mr. Mtumbeni. I think this is very important, what you've just mentioned, and we need the minister face to face. So I would have loved that when we have this meeting with him, that it will be an in-person meeting, because he's been absent from our meetings and we've been struggling on without him, and now the truth is on the table, even with the answers to questions posed. And I would like to also request that, if I know it's a lot, but if it's possible that the staff can provide us before the meeting, not only on the Monday afternoon, because most of us fly in on a Monday, so that we can properly peruse this report and investigate it when we have this meeting with him, so that we're ready with the questions to pose for him. Thank you, Honourable Chairperson.
Honorable, thank you, Honorable Honorable Aris.
Yes, thank you very much, Chairperson. I actually want to fully agree with Honorable Adrianse, and I just want to put the emphasis more on, and I'm grateful that even in that report that was presented earlier to us, we need to change our strategy in terms of asking questions. Because right now all members are asking questions and then they just select some questions that they want to answer while we're in the portfolio. We need to change our strategy on how we approach them. So whenever a member is asking a question, the department must immediately answer that member in order for us to ensure that all our questions get answered. Thank you, Chairperson. That's my only input that I want to make.
Thank you, Honorable Aris. I think we've managed, we've covered what has been raised because it has been a standing issue, this one. And unfortunately, we were persuaded by the deputy minister, thinking that all of these things will be properly attended. We won't have this situation, but there was no improvement. There is still no improvement since that particular meeting. So hence I'm saying, now let us move further following our constitution, report this matter to the necessary parliamentary structures so that this is known. It must not be taken as a witch hunt. At least we've gave the Honorable Minister an opportunity, but failed also to come to our expectations. We must subpoena the minister and we must write a letter also to the office of the speaker reporting this behavior of the end. Also, all of these concerns that we are raising, specifically around the behavior of the minister. The minister now that is given, because we need to have proper structures to address the plight of the legends. You know, we need those issues to, whether are actors, you know, former sporting legends, all the legends across. If there is a policy that is in place in terms of how are they taken care of, not to extinguish where there is a crisis. What about those who do not have an access to social medias and television, who are also on the similar situations, whilst they are under the banner of being legends of this country? So we need to come to the end of this. I do not want to talk about the issue of infrastructure that no one is prepared to take responsibility of, but the department cannot. These answers are all wrong. You are correct on Mr. Mtem. It nearly, but we were going to follow it because we will raise the issue of being taken now as a voting or supporting, you know, the question of budgeting when it is presented to us. I've raised this thing before that meeting that we had, that look, the department is not happy. Honorable members do not want to be seen as people who are just supporting the budget, but they want to be part of the processes. Select committee must be taken serious. So the situation is still the same. It has not improved. We will do what we have done. We will subpoena them. Honorable members must avail, must leave a space in their diaries. We will get a response. I mean, we will get an update within 7 days. I think it's going to be necessary just to, it is not, it does not need to be to be on the programs, but this one needs, so that when we're having our programming meetings, we know how we've dealt with some of these issues, you know, because this is an outstanding issue for a long time. Thank you very much, honorable members. Can we proceed to the next item, Ms. Kaka? Hello, am I audible, honorable members?
You are, Chair.
Yes, I
can
don't
hear
know.
you, Chair.
Where is Ms. Kaka? Are you still there? Honorable Ntombeni is that going to lead and this item?
Yes, Chair, I'm here. I'm still trying to share the committee program.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yes, Chair, this is the draft program of the committee. I'm not sure whether honorable members are able to see it on the screen.
See it, yes. We can see it, yes.
You can see.
Oh, all right, Chair. Let me take the committee through the draft program. Today is Tuesday, the 13th of May, and the committee is dealing with the committee strategic plan for the 2025-2026 financial year, and we will also be adopting the committee program and draft minutes. And then the next week, Tuesday, the 20th of May, 2025, the proposal is for the committee to get a briefing from the Department of Sports, Arts and Culture, City of Johannesburg and City of Tshwane on the state of sport infrastructure projects and sport programs in metros. The committee will also be having a meet and greet session with the visiting United Kingdom members of Parliament. And the proposal is to have this particular meeting physically because the committee needs to meet with the United Kingdom members delegation after the briefing. That meeting followed by the meeting of Tuesday, 27 May 2025. And the proposal there is for the committee to get a briefing from the Department of Basic Education on their 2025 to 2030 strategic plan and 2025-2026 annual performance plan. And that presentation to include conditional grants allocated to provinces. And then Tuesday, the 3rd of June, 2025, a proposal is for the committee to have a joint meeting with the Select Committee on Social Services on a report by the Commission for Gender Equality on learner pregnancy and the systematic investigation into older persons. And then Wednesday, the 4th of June, proposal is for the continuation of that joint meeting. That followed by Tuesday, the 10th of June. A proposal is for the committee to get a briefing from the Department of Higher Education on their strategic plan and 2025-2026 annual performance plan. That followed by Tuesday, the 17th of June. And a proposal is for the committee to get a briefing from the Department of Science, Technology and Innovation on their strat plan and 2025-2026 annual performance plan. And that followed by Tuesday, the 24th of June, 2025. And a proposal is for the committee to consider and adopt a draft minutes and budget votes reports for all 4 departments. That followed by Tuesday, the 1st of July, 2025. And the proposal is for the committee to get a briefing from the Commission for Scientific and Industrial Research, focusing on their latest innovation technologies aimed at improving basic education curriculum and educational outcomes, meaning literacy and numeracy, digital literacy, learning and learning technologies. Also for the committee to get a briefing from the Department of Basic Education on their experiences on the CSIR curriculum inputs. That followed by Tuesday, 08 July 2025. A proposal is for the committee to get a briefing from the Department of Sports, Arts and Culture and the City of Cape Town on the state of sport infrastructure projects and sport programs in the metro. That followed by Tuesday, 15 July 2025. And a proposal is for the committee to get a briefing from the Department of Higher Education on the internalization policy and as well as employment equity statistics of academic personnel within universities. And that followed by Tuesday, 22 July 2025. And a proposal is for the committee to get a briefing from the Gauteng Education Department on an update following the recommendations of the oversight visit to the province in October 2024. And the last meeting for the term, which is 29 July, Tuesday, 29 July 2025. And the proposal is for the committee to get a briefing by the Department of Basic Education, on schools accommodating learners with disabilities at early childhood development, primary and high school level, including the training provided to educators on dealing with learners living with disabilities. That is all, honorable members. Thank you. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Ms. Kaka. I think honorable members have captured properly, at least up until July. Honorable members, anything that you want to add or subtract on the proposed draft as presented and also been sent to us? Honorable Mukwele.
No, thanks very much. Let me arise to adopt the program as presented, and even to say this is gonna be a living document, which I also wanted to say while we adopt it, but we are still saying that if there is something that the community feel that it is urgent, it need to be attended to, our program must also allow that that space to be there. Thanks very much.
Thank you, Honorable Mukwele. Can I just check something, Ms. Kaka? Look, there is this urgent engagement that we want to have with the Department of Sport. Tuesday might not be necessarily be that one, because I don't know, please guide us on this one. Whether do we combine the session that we want to have, or because this one is specific on Tshwane and City of Joburg, which is, it doesn't include where we want also the issue of Isarapat money and other sporting facilities that we have highlighted, or else will this one suffice if we can change its nature, take into cognizance of our visitors? Thank you. Is there any other hand, honorable members, on the program, or must we agree with the program as presented?
Thank you, Honorable Chairperson. Honorable Finis, I second the proposal of Honorable Makwele.
Sorry, I have muted myself. You can proceed, Honorable Du Plessis.
Thank you, Chair. It's to second the program and the agenda, but also to support the suggestions that we ensure we look after or that we get oversight from the municipalities throughout the country so that we can really push the specific agenda and that municipalities realize they need to ensure that sports infrastructure also works well. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member. Ms. Kaka, can you respond in terms of what I've raised, just as a clarity? Then we will proceed to another item.
Oh, thank you, Chair. Can I please hand over to Dr. Mtombeni to assist on this one?
Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, I don't know how the timetable maybe of members looks. I would maybe propose maybe for perhaps an evening meeting, maybe after plenary, specifically to deal with the issues that you have raised, especially with the other infrastructure projects by the National Department of Sport, Arts and Culture. I don't know if maybe you'd be happy with that suggestion. It could be even same day, like the same Tuesday, but maybe we meet them again in the evening, maybe after 5 p.m. To consider that. Thank you, Chair.
I am not following you. I am not following you, Mr. Mtombeni.
Oh, yes.
We would want to have a minister. Remember, we will want to have a minister. When we're dealing with these issues, we do not want shifting of the game of the game post. We want to have a minister, the DG in that particular meeting, that are going to directly respond to us in terms of how we're dissatisfied. It's not only going to end, but also on how they are dealing with the select committee itself, so that we know, if it is their objective to continue to undermine the committee, because it's beyond the issue now of what we have in the program. But even the program itself, for itself to survive, we must first deal with these issues that are hanging. Because we said they must not come to us when they want us to support the budget. It was like that, and thereafter nothing. Even in terms of the commitments that they've made, they sent a scanty report. Just by the way, we're not being taken serious. That's where I'm at. I want us to know if this meeting will be able now to address that, or we change this meeting, because we have that capacity of changing this meeting. If they are not available, then they must not brief us. If the minister and the DG is not available, we utilize this space, but we leave the program as it is, because we want to just to get to the bottom of the situation that is currently happening with that department.
Yes, thank you, Chairperson. Yes, that's a very good proposal that you just raised. Maybe we should start on that note that both the Deputy Minister and Minister should attend that meeting. In terms of now engaging them on specifically on their conduct towards the topic is maybe what I was proposing, that maybe we meet them on Tuesday, even after this meeting. Maybe we request them to come back later on after the committee goes to plenary And after plenary, they come back, Deputy Minister and Minister, to meet with the committee to discuss their conduct with regards to the committee. I was thinking maybe on Tuesday, since they'll be in Cape Town, they can just come back later on and still meet the honorable members. I don't know if maybe Chairperson would support that proposal.
No, before we proceed with this meeting, we want to meet with them because it's
Oh,
going to
okay.
be, you see, even this one
Yes.
of having a meeting on the evening with them is not going to, because some of us will have to travel back because I'm still in the Magistrate Commission. I will be needed also because we cannot proceed without a quorum. You know, we have a backlog even at that level. So I wanted us to deal with this thing once and for all. I think each must be change the agenda. I'm subject to be corrected by the members so that when we are dealing with the issues of sport, at least we have managed to deal with what we believe that is fundamental for us as a select committee members versus the Department of Sport, you know, because this attitude must come to an end. And no one else is going to do that. We are not going to be crybabies going around seeking for help, even though we know how we can deal with this thing once and for all. Our meeting must be informed by that. Both the minister and the deputy minister must be here. The deputy minister was here, but she couldn't give us any comfort in terms of what we seek to achieve. So the person that we want is the minister himself. We do not you know, having you know, anything else. Otherwise it's going to be difficult to proceed as such. We can have this formality, because it's going to be a formality. Then beyond that, even on the formality itself, there are answers that still needs to be answered. There are no commitments. In fact, I must just put it as such. Even on the same project, it's going to be the same thing that you're going to be experiencing. So I'm putting it to members. Then if the members are comfortable for us to proceed as such, then let us agree to proceed as such. Thank you very much. I just want to hear what are the members saying. If they are fine, then we can proceed as such. Honorable Mukwela, I see your hand. You are recognized.
Chair, without any delay, we agree that we follow what you are proposing, to say that first and foremost, we must deal with our issues first before anything else. So that we must deal with this attitude of the Department of Agriculture. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Mukwele. Honorable members, we are not changing or amending the program. The program is fine as it is, but we are experiencing the frustration and challenges. Hence, we are moving in this way. Okay, can we move to our next item? Mr. Mtombeni or Ms. Kaka, can we move to our next item?
The last item, Chair, is consideration and adoption of draft minutes, and it's minutes of Tuesday, 18 March 2025.
Honorable Mukwele, will you move because the minute was sent to us. Will you move for the adoption?
No, Chair. I should think that I move that we adopt the minutes as presented. Thank you.
Any second? Honorable members, Honorable Sibande. Thank you, leader.
Yes, Honorable Sibande, move to second the adoption of the minutes. Thank you very much.
Yes, yes. Can we proceed to a further item?
Thank you, Chair. I think the very last item is to announce to the committee that I received an invitation letter from the Minister of Sport, Arts and Culture. I think let me share the screen, Chair. The invitation is for the 2024 South African Sport Awards, and the date for the awards is the 8th of June, 2025.
Through your chairperson, it's a Sunday. I'm just checking the date.
Oh, let me also quickly check.
No, sorry about that. I was trying to stop this noise that okay.
Yes, it's Sunday, the 8th of June, Chair.
Yes, thank you very, very much. I see the hand of Honorable Mukwele.
No, it's a legal hand.
What I want to check now, can all the members of the committee be allowed to attend? Because these are just it's a ceremony of awards. Will you check that? Because these are some of the issues that we want to engage and to.
Yes, Chair, I will submit the application to the House Chairperson. So attendance of the members will be subject to the approval by the House Chairperson.
Okay, thank you for. So it's the last item, this one, eh?
Yes, Chair.
Okay. I think that if there is no other item, honorable members, our meeting comes to an end now. It was a brief, straightforward meeting with straightforward items. We will keep on touch on briefing each other of any developments that we are having. Also thanking our administrative support, Ms. Kaka and Dr. Tombeni, and your colleagues. Indeed, we appreciate continuous support that you are showing to us. By those few words, our meeting stand adjourned. Thank you very much. Enjoy your day. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Chair.
Chairperson.
The chair.
Recording stopped.